Social media has failed. This is going to be, this is one of the greatest disasters in socio-marketing history. And people can argue this is actually a good thing if they want. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just know that the use of certain algorithms by the social media companies to push certain types of content has played with the natural ability to communicate and contact customers and get out the right message. Similar to, you know, if a person wants to be fit and healthy, they can go to the gym and train, or they can take some kind of drug which makes them look better, right? Maybe builds up their muscle or something like that. But taking the drug is not natural and has terrible side effects. You know, a lot of people who wanted big muscles in the 80s and 90s, they ended up with heart attacks, right? Because it just put too much strain and stress on their body. And basically, social media has had a giant heart attack due to the fact that all across the board, whether you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or Pinterest or wherever you are, and even places that were places like Parler, which were yeah, Amazon shut down Parler, which was almost as big as Facebook, which was insane, but that's another story. Anyway, so these companies have sort of decided, yeah, okay, we can push certain agendas and certain political ideologies to people, but what it's done is it's just killed rational, if there ever was any, debate and discussion where people don't find anything new anymore. The only material they come across is things that they already know. Now, there's an argument that there is an argument that you can only influence people through what they know already, and to a certain extent that's true. But the whole point about social media, especially from my perspective, was there was a certain element of randomness there, and you didn't know quite what you were going to encounter, and you would meet new things and have to think about them. And it's the system has failed, and it's visible on almost every platform now. That, you know, once upon a time Facebook had a very good news feed and it was lively and entertaining and interesting. It's just, in most people's profiles, it's just dull and boring with the same repetitive information over again. And there's almost nothing on LinkedIn that challenges the establishment view of everything. It's like there's one view, there's one way, there's one approach to everything, and this is it. And anytime you are critical or dissent, you risk losing your platform completely. I mean, almost everybody, here's an example. Almost everybody I follow on Facebook has been banned. I mean, everybody. I used to follow about 500 people on Facebook, and they've all been banned from Facebook, all of them, without exception. Some of them got banned and came back, and they can't post what they used to post. But this idea that you can't share then just stops any kind of progress that people could make, because people are then they're scared to go against what people are saying. They're scared to go against what is happening. And it also means that if people think that a certain idea is going to be promoted and make them more popular, then whether or not they think it's good, or they like it, or whether or not they agree with it, or whether or not they think it's moral, they will go down that road and promote something. And you know, the classic, it's dangerous to talk about it, but the classic example is something like Black Lives Dolphins. Sorry, Sorry, there are dolphins outside my window. Sorry, I'm just, excuse me.
Really?
No, yeah, right now. Not normally I can't look out my window because I'm in front of my camera, but I've got my mobile headset and I'm walking around the flat. I looked out the window just now and I just saw dolphins. I just see dolphins jumping up and down. I was like, just like it's about 100 meters. There's the road and then the play park and then the sea, and there are dolphins right in the sea, just about 100 meters in front of me, jumping in the water. Oh wow, sorry. Anyway, I just thought I'd add that in because it's a kind of nice thing to see. Um, so, so what I was going to say is the classic dolphins. Sorry, I can't stop saying dolphins. So, yeah, the classic example of a present problem is something like Black Lives Matter, right? Anytime somebody does anything with um, anything surrounding Black Lives Matter, their posts get boosted and they get more attention. Um, whereas if you go into the internet and you say something like "All lives matter," you get banned. And there's no balance. Maybe there's truth on both sides, but we'll never know because one side gets all the attention and the other side gets no attention at all. And all social media platforms now are now orientated towards this certain agenda. If you go into LinkedIn and you start promoting vaccinations, your company goes straight to the top and everybody sees your posts. If you go on LinkedIn and are critical of it, you get banned from LinkedIn. I mean, so what is the point of the platform if nothing critical can ever be studied or analyzed or discussed? And that's now across the board on all platforms. And once upon a time, they were exciting and interesting and great places. It was like walking into the pub and not knowing who you're going to meet and not knowing what was going to happen, or going to the club and not knowing who you were going to see there, and it was going to be exciting. Now you know exactly what you're going to see and you know exactly what you're going to hear, and people have turned off, and it's become a marketing nightmare because once upon a time it was a huge great open market and a great way to reach out and connect with people. Now it's just dull and boring. If I look across the social media networks now, once upon a time I was and I'm happy they exist. Once upon a time I was excited by them. Now I look at them and I just think, oh my God, it's for me it's just turned into the same rubbish on a daily basis. And it's sad because it was an opportunity for it to be so much more. And maybe it will, maybe it will, maybe it will change in the future. I don't know, but I have seen very, very, very few posts on places like LinkedIn that have made me think, oh, that's really exciting and nice and innovative and interesting. And every now and then there's something, but it's just not what it could be. It could have been so much more, and we're going to have to go back to the traditional ways of communication in order to go forward. We have to take a step back to go forward. It sounds like a contradiction, but until we get out and actually start meeting people physically again, we're not going to have that much progress with what's happening and what's going on. And of course, most of the information is just, we're wonderful, we're brilliant, look at this amazing stuff. Now there's some amazing stuff that happens in the world, highlight it, that's a good thing. But we also need to be self-critical in order to make progress. We need to be able to admit our mistakes. We need to be able to realize we're not perfect. We need to be able to change our direction sometimes. We need to be able to poll and ask people what is open questions about a lot of things, and just it's what's that term when social media is now just all facade. It's just all this is the face of the company, and the company is fantastic. And for me, as a result of that, it's not real anymore. Because just me personally, it's just a feeling I have when I look at it. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want people sometimes I don't want other people deciding for me what I should see, which is very much what these platforms do. Sometimes you do want things curated for you, but other times you don't. There needs to be an ability to change, I think, there. So